All right, part two boot camp. We are going to be drawing a tree and a sphere today. I'm just going to move this paper up a little bit so that way we have a little bit of space together. Okay. All right. The first thing we're going to draw is a sphere. And if you were in class, I gave you an image of a sphere. If not, which I think I forgot to give a couple of you this image. The image is attached on Google Classroom under the Part 2 Bootcamp, so you can kind of reference it that way. So I need for you to choose one color. And looking at your palette, just kind of decide what one color you want to go for, but I'm looking for one color that has a light, a medium, and a dark of that one color. So I'm just going to tell you straight up, yellow is not a good option just because it's kind of hard to differentiate between all of them. So looking at my palette, it looks like I probably have a dark, a medium, and a light blue. So I'm going to go with these. If in your palette you don't have a dark, medium, and light, I guarantee you probably have a dark and a light, or a dark and a medium. So if you just have two, that's okay. No worries. I'm just going to peel this paper off a little bit. All right, so we're gonna draw a sphere. We practice drawing spheres because it just really helps us with our values and our shading and mixing. All right, I have to turn my paper, but you can keep your paper going in portrait view. I just have to turn mine because landscape works better for me. Just gonna double check, okay? Now, I'm gonna start off with my medium. I'm just going to kind of feel out where my sphere is going to be. Looking at the image, I know my sphere is like this. I know that I have this kind of ellipse shadow like this. Okay, this is all with light pressure. Now I'm going to kind of go through with my medium, and I'm just going to use light pressure, and I'm just going to kind of start filling in just the right-hand side of the sphere, because I know that the light source is coming from this way. So just some light pressure. All right, I'm gonna switch over to my my lighter blue, and I'm gonna put the lighter blue here up at the top of the sphere. Okay, now here's the fun part. I'm going to start going in a little bit with more pressure with my medium. I have not switched over to my dark yet. And I'm constantly checking back with my sphere just to kind of ensure that I have all my shadows correct. All right. Now I'm going to switch over to my lighter blue. I'm going to start going in with a little bit heavier pressure. I'm going to start overlapping some of my blues right here. What's kind of nice about using a lighter pastel is that it acts kind of like a blender, so it helps you blend all of your tones in together. Like, look at that, it looks like magic. I'm just filling in the space. All right. So once again, I'm just kind of using this lighter blue and it's blending all of my tones together. So now it looks like I have light and medium, but now I'm missing my dark. So everything with shading is relative. So what that means is that right now this blue looks really dark, but when I start adding this, then we're gonna start to see how, oops, it's not really that dark. That's what we mean by relative. It's all kind of comparable to others. Let's see. Let me switch blues. All right. And then I'm just going to fill in the casted shadow. I actually am not very happy with this blue that I used. I wanted more of like this phthalo blue. Let's see. That's not too bad. All right, now if you have a white in your kit, you're more than welcome to bump your highlights a little bit more and use some white up here. I don't have a white in my palette, but I might experiment with this gray and see what happens. Right now, I'm just trying to take off some of that old, it was like red on here. Not really what I was hoping for. All right, so now we have light, medium, and dark with our spear. And now we just have to add that really kind of simple background that we have as it's sitting on a little table. I'm just gonna do some light pressure with that. And then I'm gonna switch over, I'm gonna do this part up here, just with that little darker blue. All right. Real quick sphere. Let's do a tree real fast. Make sure I'm still in frame. All right. So with your tree, once again, find kind of a lighter green, a darker green, a medium green if you can. You don't have to. Let's pull in some yellow too, okay? With oil pastel, we want a lot of colors because it helps make it look a wee bit more advanced. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of do some like scribbly lines a little bit. I'm just using like a medium to heavy pressure. I'm gonna do some scumbling because you know me, I love scumbling. All right. And then I'm going to switch over to a brown. For some of that. Now, I wonder what color this is. I don't mind that. Got to determine where the light source is coming from. So if the light is going to be hitting the tree this way, that means that this part of my tree is going to be a little bit darker. So I'm just going to go on top. Still kind of doing like this jagged, scumbly line, right? So the thing about nature, when we're, you know, drawing flowers or trees or whatever, it's not exactly symmetrical, right? Because it's more this organic thing. So I just don't want to have, whoop, split right down the middle. This half is dark, this half is light. So I would just want to kind of go through and just make sure that I'm just kind of blending some of it so it doesn't look so half dark, half light. Okay, so I'm just going to do that here in the center. Now, once again, some of your lighter colors are going to help be blenders. So I'm just going to kind of go through, and you see some of those like little white spots right there. I'm just going to go through with my oil pastel. I'm just going to kind of just work them out just a little bit. Okay, it's feeling good. We can kind of blend some of this brown up there too. If I wanted to, I could use some of these techniques, right? I could kind of go in there and just kind of mix around a little bit if I wanted, but I'm feeling really good about this. I might come in with some yellow and see if I can even see it. Sometimes you're gonna find with oil pastel, you've done so many layers that it's not really helping. So you're gonna see that the oil pastel starts to build up. And you just gotta kind of twirl it. I normally like to have like a scrap piece of paper next to me so I can be, cleaning my pastels as I go. Okay, I'm feeling good. Now I'm gonna start to blend this guy a little bit. I'm kind of looking for a darker brown. I don't think I have one. So I wonder what color this is. I might have to go lighter. So here's a little bit lighter side right there. Yeah, that feels good. I wonder what would happen if I added blue. Ooh. A little bit of blue over here. We don't see the color black in nature very often, so that's why we try not to shade with black if we're drawing something that is of nature. That's kind of what the Impressionists thought too. So that's why I switched over to a blue. And I might go back. All right, what do you think of your tree? I'm happy with mine. All right, now you're gonna take a photo of just this bottom half of your page, or you can submit the whole page, that's fine too. And this is gonna be submitted to Part 2 Bootcamp on Google Classroom. And then there is going to be a Part 3 video. And in that video, it's gonna be more or less just me explaining the project and your drafts that you're gonna be doing for this. So just kind of thinking ahead, this project, the purpose of this project, you will be creating whatever you want from oil pastel. So I chose the material oil pastel for you, and then you will be choosing what you actually create with the oil pastel. And as I'm talking, oh my gosh, you know what I could do? Some sgraffito. I could kind of sgraffito some lines in here. I love this. All right, I'm gonna go doodle some more now. And I will talk to you soon.